What's up, everybody? We're live, man. We are live. It is week 1 of the NFL season. The NFL is here.
Kitchen, you have like a deranged look in your eyes. Your eyes are bulging out like Steve Buscemi in an Adam Sandler movie right now. It is week 1.
So yeah, week 1 is here. Welcome to everybody on the SWOLECAST. We got our own SWOLECAST feed, and we want to make sure that people subscribe there. So we got a few incentives, because people like the incentives. So all you got to do is
people like incentives, breaking stuff from Dave.
Well, no,
Kitchen
it's
here.
like that's the only way our audience will actually do something. They're not going to be like, oh, we should give the SWOLECAST a like. We should subscribe there. They're not going to do that. They have to be coerced, Davis.
Okay.
Just imagine a bunch of Davises around here. Like, Davis, are you going to give anybody a subscribe out of the goodness of your heart?
You know who the one person I subscribe to on YouTube is?
Peter Overzet.
Peter Overzet.
Wow.
That's actually and I subscribe to my own channel, of course.
My own channel. That's where you post all the old Little D clips, right?
Mm-hmm. I will say every podcast I subscribe to on iTunes, though, I have left a 5-star rating and review as any good citizen of the internet should do.
Well, you famously only want one thing for your birthday, and that's an iTunes review of your podcast.
Every year, it's the only thing I tweet on my birthday. I say, please rate and review my podcast.
Oh, it's just a way for you to tell people it's your birthday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a way to get rating and reviews on the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you to all.
So the interesting thing, by the way, about our little world is that because we are all friends with each other on like 19 different forms of social media, it's like actually impossible for one of your online friends to have a birthday and not know about it.
Yeah.
Facebook used to make that much easier. And now when you're not on Facebook all the time, I just have friends' birthdays just fly by without remembering.
I had, from 10 years ago, I somehow imported all the birthdays from Facebook into iCal. And so I get random notifications that are people's birthday from people I haven't talked to in 8 or 9 years. And it's the most annoying thing in the world. But anyways, we're not talking about that. We're talking about the SWOLECAST. Again, make sure you're liking the channel. If we get 100 likes, subscriptions, we're going to have Tuttle do his terrible take, but not until then, right, Tuttle?
I mean, I actually had one ready this week, but I don't think we're going to get 100 likes.
Wow, Tuttle is so lit for week 1 that he actually came prepared with a terrible take. Unbelievable. Guy is ready to go.
I want you to look into the camera, and I want you to tell those people out there what's going to happen to your terrible take if they don't hit the like button.
Tell it.
What was that?
I'm not going to tell the terrible take.
All right, let me do this for Tuttle.
Don't hit the like button.
Let me do this for Tuttle. All right, all you little chat rats out there. Tuttle's terrible take is under hostage situation right now. Your mission, if you choose to accept it, if you want to release this take, you will smash the like button. You will smash the subscribe button. And if, and only then, will Tuttle's terrible take be released.
I love how you had to give yourself some room so that you could be an adequate,
nice and intense
hostage situation posed. Also, we'll be giving away a free subscription. Let's throw that in there. And
I mean, the lifetime value of a SWOLECAST subscription is close to $1 million.
This is an RG subscription. You know what? We'll make it a combo. Wow,
a
Core 4 plus specialist. We'll have to clear that with Sean and FMT.
I think that's gonna get vetoed, bud. I have a feeling that Sean is gonna look you in your beady little eyes and tell you not a chance.
Because they're doing a great job with the specialist.
They are doing a great job. They're working their dicks off.
I will, Davis. We can't say that. I will.
What do you? God, do you really have a prop right now?
Kitchen brought a prop, dude.
No. Look at you, Davis, with your kombucha and your Jeff Janis jersey. Those aren't props on this show.
This is just kind of like my daily life, Kitch.
Yeah, you're like the Zen guy. But I do want to shout out, this is the Brownie Oreo Fudge Blizzard from Dairy Queen.
Is this going to be a weekly thing for the SWOLECAST?
No, I don't know. I was thinking something original. Maybe I taste something like a dessert and then like say give some sort of rule that I don't really adhere to ever.
One blizzard. Everyone knows the rules except Dave.
Right.
Too.
Exactly. Let's get into this
kitchen. I gotta tell you a story before we get into week one.
Please, because we don't have anything else to get into.
We don't have anything it's pretty good though. It's pretty good.
I hope it's inside info that no one else gets except us.
So unfortunately, I kitchened this situation though. My wits were not about me. So I went this weekend up to Michigan to go babysit my girlfriend's new nephew. We went with her out at a lake house. Well, they had like some wedding to be at or something, and we stopped in Chicago for the night to stay there, and went to go get coffee on Friday morning. I go get my coffee. We're walking down the street. We're gonna go take a little walk on the beach, and we're walking down the street, and we pass this couple. Guy turns around and he says, "Hey, are you Davis Mattek?"
No.
I'm like, yeah, that's me. And he was like, "No way, man. I follow you on Twitter." And we just did but I didn't get the picture.
Why didn't you get the picture? It doesn't happen if you don't get the picture.
I didn't get the picture. I just I was so taken aback by like talking to someone on the street anyway.
Yeah.
I really didn't have the presence of mind.
Trust me, if there's anyone amongst this group that knows how you feel, it's me. Want to say quick.
Tuttle, we called BS on Kitchens. Where are you on the BS meter of this Davis story?
I think Davis is real. He doesn't have like a pitcher he's trying to flaunt around or pretend pitcher that he can't find to flaunt around.
This is the week a guy, he's going to be like, "Oh, DFS, I listen to the SWOLECAST. I listen to it every week during the season." He might have missed the off-season SWOLECAST. "Hey, guy at Disney World that took a picture with me, I will give you
chewing before you do
whatever you want."
It's like really unbelievable. It's wild.
I know that
it's
guy
a piece
is
of brownie. I think
he's going to be very, very easily be able to find the random SWOLECAST stream that we're doing this from too.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah,
he's going to find it. I have faith. He's going to give me the picture that he took with me at Disney World.
But we do know the pattern of this, right? We need to now look for a misconnections post to perhaps surface in the coming weeks to see if we can actually pair these guys up online. Or has he talked to you online since then, Davis?
I have so many people. I didn't ask.
I got so many people in my DMs.
No, I was going to say I have so many people blocked and muted that there's a chance. There's a chance I just wouldn't see it.
Blocked.
Or muted.
All right. So let's get into this. This is like the earliest we've ever done a SWOLECAST on a Wednesday. So we're gonna see how it goes. First look, everyone said
I'm sure we've done one early when I had to go to like an Alanis Morissette concert or something.
Yeah, I'm sure we have to. Okay. Davis, can we get on with the show, please?
Sorry, guys.
I'm trying to hijack it. All right, so we're going to just give you a first look at this week, and just the normal hard-hitting analysis that we do each and every SWOLECAST episode. We're just going to do it a couple of days earlier. So
we are the only people in the industry to do a first look, and I just want to let people know if they are looking for the first look.
The only fantasy football podcast.
It's here.
Who works
Are
harder
people
than
even
us?
doing week one analysis?
They're still in season long mode, man. These chumps.
Best ball mode.
Geez. You know the stories of when the dad goes and like he catches his son smoking, so then he gives him like a pack and he says, "Smoke all of these." And at the end of it, the kid's like, "I never want to smoke a cigarette again." That's how I feel about slow drafts after yesterday's slow draft season. I am so ready for DFS. I am so sick of fantasy football drafts.
Kitchen is so ready for the Thursday night second half slate.
Ooh, give me those flash drafts, son. Give me those flash drafts.
If you drafted yesterday, you cheated, though.
No.
That's what I hear.
The chat does want us to comment. I should probably recuse myself of this just as an investor in a competitor's best ball site. I have been checking my portfolio, though, and that underdog stock keeps just ticking right on up.
Yeah. Some of the drafts I know we hate saying our drafts, but this was how ridiculous the draft was last night.
Oh, tell me. I can't wait to hear who you picked.
Dude, I cannot wait.
From the 8 spot, Kamara.
No way.
CEH in the second round.
No.
In this economy?
And then Thielen, Cooper, McLaurin Woods, and then Davis's favorite, Melvin Gordon in the 8th round.
This sounds like a slightly below average team.
Yeah, you drafted Philip Lindsay's backup. I wonder why.
Stop it.
It's
my only share of Melvin Gordon, but no one else is going to take him. I'm going to take him. These teams last night were egregious. They were absolutely egregious, and only got 4 hours of sleep because of it. So
you should be ashamed for supporting the.
I'm taking advantage
of DraftKings.
Hey, if $1 million is going to be won, it's going to be last night or today. That's how it works. So that's what Twitter's saying. Anyways, let's move on. Please. We got stuff to say.
65% of the entries in the contest all came on those days. So I agree with you. It's very likely that that the winner was drafted today or yesterday.
All right, Davis. Let's switch to week 1. Some injury news. Some news to watch for. Is it the Miles Sanders thing the only thing we're watching for this week, or are we concerned about other situations?
Well, you know my history with Mike Evans and week 1 injuries and predicting whether or not he'll be active.
Is he doubtful or probable or what?
According to Bruce Arians, he's got a little soft tissue thing going on. I don't know. I will say the number one thing I am most ready to be super upset about on Sunday is a bunch of guys who are playing on pitch counts and being super limited. It's really going to be terrible. There are going to be a lot of guys that do not play their full complement of snaps.
Like you're talking about Miles Sanders in particular or other people?
I mean, Sanders for sure. I think I'm going to lower his workload expectations. But I think it might just be almost universal where wide receivers are rotating way more than normal. And we are seeing, third string running backs getting first half carries and stuff. Just things that we would expect from a first preseason game.
Well, that's the biggest thing with Sanders. The coach said he might ease him in or whatever the verbiage was, but isn't that probably going to be every team? So is it really do we discount it that much or can we just go with it?
I don't think you discount it that much. I think that's real.
What about David Montgomery?
He is apparently saying he has a chance to play. But
unfortunately, stopping those donkeys from smashing in Tariq Cohen, right?
Oh, really? Because I might. All right. We'll see. We'll see who's.
I have heavy investment in my best ball.
Okay. Nope. This is the last mention of best balls on this show until week 16. If any of us have
my favorite part of fantasy drafts. At least I had him in my best ball drafts.
Can we all exposure. Agree? Can we all agree? No best ball chat until week 16.
Kitchen, start your own Periscope streams called Blizzards and Best Balls, where you just eat a blizzard while talking about your best ball.
It's going to be called DK, DKNG, and DQ.
Really
but seriously, what other injury news are we looking for, Tuttle?
I mean, I do think Miles Sanders is definitely the biggest one. We have that Evans that we talked about. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else really? Something just came across.
There are
wait for Friday and Dr. Chow's report.
I feel like the other.
Which side are you going to look for Dr. Chow's report on?
I think you can only find him on a handful of sites.
Yeah, only 19 or 20.
App. I thought before you had to download an app to get his analysis, and now you can get him on 30 different sites.
He charges for ProFootballDoc.com. Dead ass charges for it.
Don't, Davis. You can't be disparaging him.
Oh,
all right.
I'm old enough to remember when he was Davis's coworker. We've come a long way.
So this is kind of interesting. Jalen Reagor practiced in full today, and everyone is lining up their Deshaun Jackson 6-target, 4-catch, 112-yard, 1-touchdown game against the Washington football team in their DraftKings cash lineups. And if Reagor plays, Goddard plays, Sanders plays. I got to be honest, I am not as interested. I would rather play Hollywood Brown, I think, if Rager is active than play Deshaun.
Isn't Rager going to be active for week 2? Is that what you said?
Yeah, Davis isn't grinding those news nuggets hard enough. They're aiming for week 2.
Buddy, he practiced in full on a Wednesday.
Check your news, bud. Check your sources.
This is from John Clark at 2:17 p.m. Eastern
Clark's
time.
A hack, man.
I think Davis's point stands though because Arcega-Whiteside still is going to steal all the targets, right?
Arcega. Let Pete say it.
Yeah, Pete, can you say it?
Arcega. I did a show with Levitan the other day, and I made him say it, but he carried it over to the last name, the second part too, and he goes Arcega-Whiteside. I didn't know that.
Mike Tyson. Oh my gosh, Pete with
all right. Top.
Jeez.
These are the top team totals for this week.
I did think there was one more news thing.
Okay, go ahead, Davis.
Every Dolphins pass catcher is listed as questionable and did not practice on Wednesday. Devontae Parker didn't practice. Mike Gesicki didn't practice. And Preston Williams also did not practice.
I wonder
Linbow
if there was
Jr., baby.
Wonder if there's a running back there that might be able to catch some passes in a pinch.
No, I wonder if you get some boots on the ground info. The news that Gesicki's not a starting tight end or wasn't a starter on the depth charts. Like, Pete, how much you buying into that stuff? The depth chart stuff.
It's a bit.
Some of them are really funny, and then some of them I think do point to some interesting situations. Like the Ravens list J.K. Dobbins as their 4th running back, which is obviously hilarious. I don't know. I mean, clearly Smythe or whatever is going to be their blocking tight end. I mean, the whole narrative around Gesicki is he's going to be a glorified slot receiver. So, maybe Smythe takes the first snap on a run play for Jordan Howard, and then Gesicki comes in and balls out. So that's how I'm viewing it.
Yeah, these running backs are going to kill us this year. Like Davis said, it's not really about the easing in the wide receivers and stuff. It's these, like the Rams having 3 running backs. Like it's going to be like eeny, meeny, miny, mo as far as if the guy you play scores a touchdown, unless you've got an alpha RB. So.
Yeah, I mean, CMC is really going to be earning that salary this year because I think that him and Barkley are the only guys that I expect to basically not be spelled at any point this year by anyone.
What about the big dog? The big dog. Big dog going to eat 45 carries a game for the big dog.
So here's the thing. If the Titans actually start out strong instead of having to come back in every game for 2 months, I actually think we see some hashtag load management with the big dog where they start using Evans more.
Ooh, you went a different way. What Kitchen was thinking.
If they are up, then it's going to be because of the big dog's first 3 quarters. That's all he needs.
I can't.
I think what you do is you rest Henry and you bring in the battering ram Darrington Evans to just wear teams down.
Yeah, where can we get Kitchen's philosophical stance on Darrington Evans?
Let me tell you, the only reason why I wasn't drafted in my best ball season-long draft, Derrick Henry, Darrington Evans.
I truly can't.
Round.
I'm not going to do this show if you keep doing that.
Yeah, don't. We're already got enough incentives for people to subscribe and smash the like button on our.
Davis does this show for free, anyways, as people know. So, all
right.
No, hey, I got my work log, bro.
We've got to get into this. Is going to be an 8-hour show. I got kids. I got to pick up from school. So implied team totals: Ravens, and then you've got the 49ers, Colts. This was kind of surprising. Colts was the 3rd highest implied team total, and then the Saints and the Seahawks. What's that?
It's almost like the Colts are playing the worst team in the league or something.
I know, but I don't know. The Colts, as far as game stacks go,
incredible analysis from Kitchen there.
Well, sorry, I wasn't expecting the Colts to be a top 3 implied team total in this slate.
The Jaguars are going to be 0-16 Lions bad.
Oh, good. Thanks for the analysis, Davis. Jaguars are bad. Okay. You got the Battle of the Birds, the Seahawks and Falcons. And then you've got the Saints and the Bucks, both at a 49 implied team total, and then the Browns and the Ravens. Thoughts on game stacks, Tuttle?
Short the Bucks and the Saints.
Ooh,
yeah.
Of the ones you listed, I short the Bucks.
I'm
the
with
Saints.
that.
Overweight on Seattle and Atlanta, and one you did not name that you want to go overweight on is Oakland and Carolina.
I like Oakland and those rookie wide receivers. All right. Let's get into quarterback analysis. Davis, who are your top quarterbacks?
I mean, Lamar, I think, is the guy you play in cash on FanDuel. On DraftKings, it's really interesting because I think there are a couple
did you give a FanDuel take?
Well, I won the Millionaire Maker on FanDuel, and I've just left my account balance in there since then. So I'm actually going to play on FanDuel this year.
You're going to take advantage of the fish like we've been telling you for the past 3 years?
Yeah,
sorry, I like the hyper competitive leagues on DraftKings better.
Bro, just create those unlimited $1 head-to-heads on FanDuel.
Yeah, it is. We're gonna see if we can snipe some fish off on FanDuel this year. On DraftKings, though, I think you actually are faced with a couple different interesting choices. If you think that Cam Newton is even 80% of 2018 Cam Newton, I think he's the strongest play on the board. He has the home matchup against Miami. I don't even really have him projected to run all that much. I give him with like a 14-15% rush share in New England, and he's projecting for over 20 DraftKings points. And then I think the other guys that are in play are Tyrod and Carson Wentz for cash.
Tyrod.
Yeah.
Give me all the Cam Newton. All of it. Boots on the ground, Peter, you agree?
Yeah, I've actually been heading over to Foxborough, shimmying my way up one of the larger trees there by the practice thing, and Cam looks excellent. He really does look excellent. Boots are on the ground. Jam in Cam.
All right, so who do you pair with Cam then in like those game stacks?
N'Keal Harry, there's only one choice.
Ooh.
Can't roll out Dusty, Julian Edelman.
I thought you were going to go with Damiere Byrd.
I should go. I'm pretty sure I did have some DFS lineups in week 1 last year with Damiere Byrd, so it could be a little tradition.
Oh,
we all did.
Davis was touting Damiere Byrd hard last year.
I think for like the first 4 weeks, I mentioned Damiere Byrd on the show at least once.
I remember a quote because, our first show a year ago, I remember I was doing it in Vegas, and my thesis was all of these Cardinals players are completely mispriced. In 1 or 2 weeks, they're going to all be way too expensive. I'm loading them all in now, and I just kept waiting all season. Christian Kirk's salary was $5,600 for 16 weeks straight.
But he got the 1 week.
He had the 1 week against the Bucks.
Oh man, and it was like you had to wait to the fourth quarter to see if like he actually did anything. It's so tilting. All right, Tuttle, quarterbacks for you this week.
Yeah, I don't think I can do the Tyrod Taylor thing. I think that there are projection systems out there that like him. They see the Bengals, they see he runs a lot, and they like him. The reasoning's there. I would much rather play Cam with you guys if I'm going cheap on DraftKings.
What about Joe Burrow? Is anyone in on that?
No. I mean, I know defenses don't matter, but it's a pretty brutal matchup for him.
Do the Chargers have a good defense? Derwin James is on injured reserve though, dude.
Yeah, they still have good cornerbacks. They still have Bosa, Melvin Ingram. They still have a good pass rush. It's not a good matchup for him. Who do you pair?
Casey Hayward.
Who do you pair him with?
Two defensive. Tyler Boyd and 1% Swolecast secret play CJ Uzomah.
Yeah, I'd rather play a CSC.
Seems terrible.
Uzomah. What?
You want to put that one on the board? First bet of the year: Uzomah versus Asi.
I'll have to look into it. Let me see what our projections say. Oh yeah, I got him.
Only Davis could come across as so confident about CJ Uzomah's week 1 role. I do love it. Like he had me convinced for a second. I'm like, wait, who are we talking? Oh yeah, CJ Uzomah.
Dude, I mean, he literally he might lead their pass catchers in snaps played on Sunday.
All right.
Okay. You know who else gets a lot of snaps? Chris Hogan back in the day. Cardio.
Win sprints, baby.
Doesn't matter. You could do the Bridgewater thing if you. Really
I was going to say
cheap.
Bridgewater. The thing with Bridgewater is figuring out like for stacks, like who you're going to pair with them.
You basically
DJ
just
Moore.
hope, DJ Moore, Samuel Housett.
Kitchen,
He's
not
not gonna throw downfield.
You're not gonna say Haskins?
Oh yeah, Haskins is a given.
Haskins is a given.
Haskins, and then Barry's 101. Logan Thomas.
There you go. $5,000. Can I just say it feels so nice to be doing the SWOLECAST, having the blitz pulled up, sorting by fantasy points by dollar, and just seeing Dwayne Haskins right there at the top. We're back, baby. The SWOLECAST is back. Smash the subscribe button. Otherwise, we don't release Tuttle's terrible take.
Haskins and Cash.
There you go.
I mean, the thing is, Davis, here's the thing. Did you know they're going to be running more plays this year? They're not going to be that slow, dusty team from years past.
It's just you're really looking at a situation where Gibson is obviously going to be stone chalk. McLaurin is going to be super popular. So, like, you're not even going to have that many unique combos relative to the field. And Haskins doesn't run at all. So you're talking about, like, he's got to throw for like 350 and 4. Maybe 3, or I guess 303 can get it done because he's so cheap.
You think Gibson's going to be chalk?
He's not going to be stone chalk, I don't think.
On DraftKings?
No, I don't think.
No,
he'll be owned, but maybe like 20% range.
That's pretty. 20% is chalk. No, it's not like Malcolm Brown.
Stone chalk,
yeah.
Would you? Well, yeah, we'll get into our big discussion McKissick versus Gibson in a second, but
we also will get into our dictionary definitions for what the percentage stone chalk is for chalk and stone chalk.
Stone chalk. Stone chalk, I think, is 40% or more. What say you, Pete?
That actually sounds about right. So that to Tuttle's point, this is just regular chalk.
This is just regular chalk.
I could see him being stone cash game chalk in higher stakes.
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be stone cash game chalk in lower stakes.
Like he's not.
You agree, though.
enough.
You agree, Davis, that they're running more plays than they ran last year, and they're going to be more explosive. You got Sims, you got Logan Thomas, who I think that this is the week to capitalize on these guys that no one
Logan
else
Thomas,
except us.
$2,800 on DraftKings. He's a legit play. He is a legit DraftKings.com play.
Of course, he is.
So
and this is the last time I bring up best balls, but it is hard to separate because you've been grinding these guys.
I am sick to my stomach.
No. Breaking news: Ozigbo DNP.
Really, James Robinson's
with a hammy.
Yeah. So
James Robinson,
Chris Thompson,
min salary on FanDuel.
James Thompson.
So okay, no, let's play this game. Ozigbo out. Who's the better min play, Antonio Gibson or James Robinson?
It's got to be Gibson because
Gibson.
Robinson profiles as a plotter, and if we think they're going to get beat handedly by the Colts, then he's not going to be on the field much in the second half.
Yeah,
give me Thompson.
See, I think people are going to be scared of Gibson overall, though. I ran that
Jag stacks could be sexy though, for real. Jag stacks.
No,
yeah, because they're gonna have to throw a ton. They're gonna have to throw a ton. And
how much Visca do we have to play this week, Pete? As truth, I'm thinking like 8% is good with me.
I was just gonna say, out of my specific cohort of lineups, Visca's gonna be stone chalk.
Oh man!
So here's
Minshew, Visca, Eifert, Thompson, just the whole.
Oh,
you guys are gonna be so mad when
Chris Conley,
my boy Jonathan Taylor, gets 20 carries. Marlon Mack gets 20 carries.
So Jonathan Taylor, we should have this conversation. He is 5,400.
You can't play
on FanDuel. I think not only do I think he is a good tournament play, I think he's legit cash game. Like you could do it.
I love this FanDuel cash game analysis from Davis. 2020.
No, he's
not all bad.
He's you do the Jonathan Taylor Colts defense stack in tournaments. You can't play Jonathan Taylor in cash.
Davis, do you have those $1 head-to-heads up on FanDuel? Heading over there to
Not yet. Do you need me to go post, Pete?
Yeah, please go post. I need some of those millionaire bucks.
You know where to find me. All right, let's build a lineup on DraftKings, but because of all the shenanigans that we have, we're going to do a blind reveal. Basically, on 3, we're going to hold up the players that we're going to put in the lineup, and then we're going to construct it from there. Hopefully get some correlation.
Did you write down your player?
No, I can, though. Wow, this is the first time I've had a pen and paper at my desk in like 2 years. Like, I don't even know why I have this.
Okay.
Yeah, I had to go dig mine out.
Is this like a play the best plays kind of lineup? I do think
this is whatever you want. This is the thing.
See, I had trouble picking a guy because I'm like, what am I supposed to do here?
Exactly. All right. Ready? 1.
No, I'm writing my guy.
How long does it take you to write one name? Just write it doesn't have to be the full name, position, by week, whatever.
I'm kind of scribbling so that it's legible.
Okay.
To the
1,
I don't have
2.
the Sharpie that Peter has there.
All right. Well, let's go 1 by 1.
Sharpie.
Let's go 1 by 1. Tuttle, you go first.
Antonio Gibson.
Gibson. No wonder you said that he wasn't going to be chalk.
Stone chalk.
It would have been against your brand. All right, Pete, who do you got?
So I'm ready to Galaxy Braid real early on in this season, guys.
Come on, dude.
Scotty Miller.
Scott Miller. Oh, my gosh.
No.
I thought my play was bad. Yours is worse.
Dude, the brutal thing
dude.
the
Evans
brutal
isn't
thing
gonna
about
play.
this is that he's 4,000.
Yeah.
It's not like he's cheap. He's not even the stone minimum.
Yeah.
You got to pay up to be contrarian.
All right, Scotty Miller. I can't believe you did this. The first run, we can't even have a good lineup.
I asked
All right,
you.
Davis.
I asked
Davis. Who you got?
Oh, we're going to have salary to spend at running back.
Dang it.
I knew you were going to do it, which is why I couldn't do it.
Okay, remember to play this game in
Well,
cash.
that's why you just sometimes you got to play the best plays.
Who was it?
Christian
Matt.
McCaffrey, baby. I knew
Okay.
we were going to have it. All right. So Gibson, McCaffrey, Miller, and Visca. All right. Tuttle, you're up next.
So this is a cash game lineup, clearly.
No, this is not a cash game
Does he
lineup.
wanna
You don't
work
play
with-
if you don't play this, if you don't have this
Stop.
lineup in cash, you are not in the obvious lineup chat and you just shouldn't even play.
Go, Tuttle,
Okay.
go.
Since we have the 1% own Scotty Miller, the 3% LaVisca Chenault, I'll just go ahead and eat some more chalk with Devontae Adams at 7,300.
Tuttle with Gibson and Adams. All right. Let's go, Davis. You're up.
Lamar. We're not playing Scotty Miller and Visca to not play Lamar.
All right. So we've got around 4K.
We got a good
player.
correlation going here.
Yeah, there's zero correlation right now. Pete?
We need a tight end, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we do.
All right, let's go Goddard.
Beautiful team.
I thought you would go Hooper
You just
or
got
something. so we
got
could
blocked
go...
on Twitter by Zach Ertz, Pete.
No. You thought I was going to go Hooper? Let me tell you about my best ball teams. I do not have Hooper on any of them.
Oh, you know, we can actually get some correlation here if you plug in that Jets defense for 2,100. You can do the
Love
double
it.
tight end Mark Andrews lineup.
Ooh, beautiful.
Cash game.
Okay.
Baby.
All right. Nice. All right. Let's move on to running back.
Hang on, real
Davis,
quick. I just
Yeah.
want to say the chat is starting to call Tuttle a chalk donkey after that Gibson one.
Well, I had
Owned.
to do Adams too because come on. You
Hey,
gotta give
where are
somebody
we
that-
on the number of
playable.
likes on the channel?
We're up to 40.
No, but subscribers.
No, we're
over
89.
90 or something. 9. Yeah,
We're
Oh, I
89,
had
so we just need 11 more. We just need 11 more.
I will say David's already hinted at my my terrible take, and he didn't even know it.
Okay, nice. All right,
That's a
running back.
kitchen specialty, accidentally touting the terrible players.
Accidentally running into the sharp play.
Actually, can I just take one guess?
Yeah,
Is it Eifert?
different position.
Okay.
All right. Let's go with Davis, running backs. You've got Christian McCaffrey. How dumb is it to not play Christian McCaffrey?
I just think the issue with not playing McCaffrey is you just do not feel that good about that many other running backs, right? We have this report that Miles Sanders might not be, not that he's not 100% healthy, but that he might be, kind of rolled out there on a pitch count. They might use some more Boston Scott. Maybe we see Corey Clement a little bit this week. I mean, even Alvin Kamara, we are like 9 days away from hearing that this guy got an epidural injection into his back.
Davis, all the doctors are telling me that this particular epidural, nothing to worry about.
You gotta ask FF Pete C about the epidural. I know he did some epidural grinding.
Apparently it wasn't as bad. It was more of a maintenance thing. He's not in, immense pain. So apparently
it's like an SID with the ASAID. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready for it's week 1. We have 17 more weeks, but this is going to be the grossest thing I say on this show. Le'Veon Bell, 5,600.
No.
He's a legit play. He is.
Nope. Definitely not.
I hate to break it to you guys.
I would rather play Tariq Cohen.
That's so stupid.
No,
I'd rather play Ryan
back. Nope. So let me get a comment in about Miles Sanders here real quick.
Yeah.
If you are lowering your cash game exposure to Miles Sanders because of this news, you should absolutely stick with your tournament exposure because other people are going
so
to be
tilted.
People are lowering their exposure overall to Sanders, and I think this could go either way with him. It wasn't like a definitive, we're going to limit him type of quote. It was like he might be limited, blah, blah, blah. Possible coach speak here. I think there's still a path to him getting 15, 20 touches, which you're fine with for his price tag. He's still extremely cheap. I would not lower tournament exposure to Miles Sanders.
Week to week, then day to day. But yeah, I mean, if there's one thing that we saw last year from Mr. Eric Beimfor, it's that playing a guy who's good, who everyone's not going to play because of injury situation, can just win you all the money. He did that with Godwin last year. Tuttle, I remember once upon a time you said, in order to win a GPP, you have to fade high-priced running backs. Do you still agree with that take?
I don't know if I ever said that. I think
you did say it. It was like 2 or 3 years ago. It was like a live final. You cannot play a high-priced running back. You got to fade him for GPPs.
This really resonated. I mean, pitching a throwaway comment at a live final 3 years ago.
Oh, it wasn't throwaway. No. Tuttle was telling us all, like, you cannot play him.
Here's the thing. I'm flattered because you're clearly mistaking me for Brandon Adams, who was on this last year, and there was a big
This was your take before Brandon Adams even had it.
Definitely not. No, that's not my take. You can win GPPs with Christian McCaffrey. And Davis kind of said it. It is a weird week where you would have thought that like the running back depth would be a little bit deeper than it is, but it's
or you'd think that we had a whole offseason where guys could have caught COVID-19. You thought our option would be better than Antonio Gibson and a three-way timeshare? Yeah, give me Tevin Coleman is not playing. Give me Devin Singletary, stubbed his toe so we get to play Zach Moss. Give me something.
Why can't we play Zach Moss at 4,400?
It's not. I'd rather play Le'Veon Bell to be frank.
I mean, you're completely speculating on Zach Moss' workload is the problem. Like, yes, we've had good reports. Like, you don't need to do that in cash games at all.
Oh, we're talking about cash games. I haven't played one of those since the second Clinton administration.
I will say,
is the bankroll challenge coming back, Pete?
It actually is.
Yes.
I was hashing it out with Dan Bach earlier. We're getting all the details squared away. It is coming back.
Okay, so tournament with this bankroll strategy, why are you playing Zach Moss? What's the GPP case for
people like it better when I lose, so might as well play guys I like on the way down.
Do we think you're going to be able to get through the season on your $1,000 budget?
Well, that's the drama. That's why people tune in. That's why they love us. That's why we laugh, why we cry.
You can't script reality, Davis.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to throw a name out there and just going to get your initial reactions. This guy, he's going to have a huge uptick in pass catching. They're releasing guys. Who cares about the guys they're signing? Josh Jacobs. This is your week to get him before everyone hops on board. Davis?
No, he is actually not that bad of a play. I would say he is a comparable play to Le'Veon Bell.
He's just
$1,200 more expensive.
This is terrible, Davis. That is just brutal. He's where all the Miles Sanders ownership is going to go. Is what's going to happen, especially on DraftKings, because there's only a $500 difference. He is a much better player than Le'Veon.
Okay, seriously.
Davis being a Le'Veon stan week 1.
I'm legitimately stunned that Davis is touting Le'Veon Bell.
Because I have him for 66% of New York's carries, and I have him for 15% of their targets. Now, if you think those numbers are high, if you think they're playing a bunch of Frank Gore, you think he's not going to be targeted that much, then it's different. But I mean, that's close to what he did last year.
Why weren't you drafting him in the 4th round of every season-long draft if you're projecting him for such?
Because he's going to get hurt and he's not going to score any touchdowns.
Wow, I didn't know you could predict injuries.
GPP running backs, Pete. Who you got in your GPP running backs?
Well, everyone I throw out, I just get shot down. You know, I was told I couldn't talk about Tariq Cohen. Then I was told
I'm on the Tariq Cohen train. Okay. I'm on the Tariq Cohen train.
You guys are on that train with David Montgomery active.
No, not if David Montgomery's active.
He's going to be active.
Let me teach you a little something, Tuttle. David Montgomery and Tariq Cohen play 2 different positions. Okay?
If you didn't understand Tariq Cohen before this David Montgomery.
If you thought Tariq Cohen mattered to David Montgomery, you didn't understand Tariq Cohen at all?
Him in the first place.
All right.
Hey, guys, here's a question. What is Dalvin Cook's ownership going to be? Because his price tag relative to C-Max seems pretty out of whack to me.
Yeah, and on FanDuel, like we talked about Josh Jacobs, he's only like 500 more than Jacobs is. Like I think he's a good play for sure.
I think because of kind of the uncertainty of Dalvin's holdout throughout the offseason, that there's just not this sexiness associated with his name, but he is going to be the bell cow there. No one's threatening him for pass catching work. I think Dalvin Cook's a smash.
I'm not going to give this answer away because we got to do something for corporate, but there is both a buy him for conviction play and a Noto core play for running back that is very interesting. I've talked about this guy before, but I'll go ahead. This is not behind the paywall, but it should be. I'll give my GPP running back take. If everyone's playing Antonio Gibson, there's another 4K running back you need to pay for.
Every Washington football team running back is 4K. Bryce Love, McKissick, Barber, Gibson, all dead 4K.
Nope. Another 4K running back on DraftKings.
Rex Burkhead.
Sexy Rexy.
Oh boy, here we go.
Okay, so these are
this is legit GPP play right here.
This is why at RB you don't fight fight the crowd because it's a tough scene out there.
Isn't that like the research out there, right? Leone's done it, right? You kind of just eat chalk at running back.
I mean, obviously you have a ton to gain. Like if you played like a 2%, Zach Langford, Jeremy Langford, who had like 40-60 DK
Zach
points
Langford's his
against the Rams.
cousin. Yeah.
But yeah, like, and Levitan did this article too, where Millie Maker winning lineups feature chalk at running back more so than at wide receiver and a quarterback. Like 30% owned running backs are in Millie Maker winning lineups all the time.
So the reason
this is what I tried to tell Tuttle 2 years ago.
So the reason behind this, right, is that we can pretty accurately predict running back touches. We can't very accurately predict wide receivers.
Or touchdowns. Like touchdowns are very random for wide receivers too.
Right. So you kind of just take the touches that you're going to get at running back where you can get them. You don't gamble on touches.
Yeah, but here, if they don't have Damian Harris,
Rexy, man.
If they don't have Damian Harris and they've got Sony Michel, Sony Michel might get like 10 touches max. Sexy Rexy's going to be the guy there. This is your one chance to.
By the way,
I want to ask you about James White so you can say they actually play different positions. Are you worried about James White, though, kind of having a more expanded role?
Oh, am I worried about a pass-catching running back? Kind of, yeah.
Well, are you worried about just the idea that running quarterbacks do not target their running backs all that often from a macro perspective?
100 subs, baby.
And steal rushing touchdowns from their...
And steal rushing. Yeah, I mean, Rex is not going to score in this game, probably. Like,
All right, we got 100 subs. Tuttle, let's just go ahead and mention your terrible take now. Don't let the people wait. Say it.
You
now.
want it? You want it?
We want it.
We want it.
I don't know. It's at the wide receiver position, so we can kind of segue there.
All right, let's segue into wide receiver.
Kitchen alluded to it. Go ahead.
Hold on, Davis. It's not
Davis,
your terrible
it's
take.
literally his terrible take.
I mean, Davis can.
No, go ahead, bud.
I mean, so Kitchen alluded to this when we were talking about Vegas totals and the game I want to be overweight on, Panthers, Oakland. And we have a situation in Oakland where there's going to be lots of targets up for grab. We don't really know who is going to get those targets.
Bryan
Edwards, man.
Oh!
I think you. I mean, either. I didn't really want to stake a claim on Edwards over Ruggs, but Edwards is cheaper and easier to fit into build, so Edwards is kind of who I'm landing on.
Edwards, the stud out of South Carolina, who I drafted on our hypothetical Superflex rookie best ball SWOLECAST offseason draft. Yes. 100%. But honestly, like, we don't know what this offense is going to look like, so why not? I like it as a one-off play for sure. 1 and 150 play.
Tuttle, what is your I'm playing devil's advocate, but what is your thought when people go, these rookie wide receivers, they take too long to develop. No rookie wide receiver is going to come out of the gate right away and win you a GPP. What is
my response would be Bryan Edwards is a grown-ass man.
Yeah. I'd be like, have you heard of Terry McLaurin? That's what I would say.
Week 1 last year versus the Eagles.
At Alan Hearns, I think it was 5 years ago, had like 35 DK points week 1.
All right, let's talk about some top receivers. Tuttle, you said Devontae Adams. Does construction like allow you to play Devontae Adams?
On DraftKings, yes. He's pretty cheap relatively on DraftKings. I don't think you can get up there on FanDuel unless you do some pretty ugly things at running back. But yeah, I think Devontae Adams on DraftKings. I think McLaurin is a play on both sides for his price tag. I think he's going to be one of the more popular options. And then FanDuel in general has a really, really loaded like 6 to 7K range where I think a lot of people are going to live. Marquise Brown is just outside of that at 5,900. I think he's going to be in a lot of cash game builds on FanDuel. And I think he'll be popular on DraftKings as well at 5,100. I think he is.
Hey, Peter, do you like targets?
I do. I've heard that they're the lifeblood of fantasy wide receiver scoring.
Well, boy, do I have a play for you. Both sides, this guy right here is going to get peppered with targets. I've got a Thielen. It's Adam Thielen.
He'll be popular on FanDuel big time, 6,800.
He is like, there's no one else. There is no one else in that offense. What, you can throw it to Olabisi Johnson? No.
Wow.
Davis?
I love how you're so hyped on Bryan Edwards, but Justin Jefferson just does not even exist in your mind.
Is he related to Van Jefferson, the new wide receiver 3 in LA?
Yeah, they're cousins.
I would bet on Peter in a Peter versus Van Jefferson 40-yard dash.
But like, seriously, Adam Thielen, Davis.
So I mean, I think that he'll have one of the highest target shares of the slate, right? I would expect him most weeks to see between 25 and 28% of Minnesota's targets. I think the issue you're going to have is a lot of weeks, it's going to be 25% of 23 forward passes. And not that this is a particular spot where we would think that Minnesota, is not going to throw, but just at most weeks, they just don't want to throw. They are one of the most curmudgeonly establish it teams in football. And Thielen is not a particularly efficient per target guy. So it's not even like you're saying, oh, well, if he only gets 6 targets because they only throw it 20 times, maybe he breaks a long one. There's probably a touchdown in there. Like, there's just a lot of, I think he's fine. I don't think he's like a slam dunk.
All right. Who's your top receiver?
I mean, I think you got to play Devontae Adams on DraftKings. On FanDuel, it's Hollywood Brown. He is as Tuttle would say, he is stone chalk.
Hey, Davis, why don't you explain to the people, maybe the new people that are listening, what's the difference between FanDuel and DraftKings?
So on DraftKings, you get a full point for every reception. So guys like Jarvis Landry, Tyler Boyd, Julian Edelman, they're going to carry a lot of value there. On FanDuel, we're really looking more for like touchdowns, long plays, things of that nature.
This is the kind of knowledge you need if you too want to win $1 million on FanDuel.
Look, as a Millie Maker winner on FanDuel, I think that I have the right to, just kind of disperse.
Oh
that
man,
wisdom.
We need to update your bio card. Won the Millie Maker in the summer. We need that. All right. Who are some of the plays that you like this week, Pete?
Yeah, so one interesting one, right? If this Mike Evans soft tissue thing keeps persisting up to game time, I mean, Godwin's going to end up being a smash at 7,100, I think. Another name that I'm interested in is Calvin Ridley at 6,100. If your thesis is that Calvin Ridley's target share inches closer to Julio's than it did last year, kind of over the course of the season, and they kind of have that kind of Godwin Evans type season where it can support two wide receivers, I think Ridley is going to end up being undervalued this year. And Tuttle already put us on that game, Atlanta-Seattle being a nice shootout game to be overweight on.
Yeah, we talk about the concentrated targets. Like, it's so easy to make like a game stack where you pair the two wide receivers with the receiver from the other team. Either the DK Metcalf. Like, DK Metcalf is a good play in himself. Like, under 6K on DraftKings. Come on. Who doesn't want the GAM play? Davis?
So I think the issue that you're going to find in tournaments with the GAM play of DK Metcalf is he is going to be very chalky in a weird way where he's just going to be stacked with Russell Wilson a ton. So I think playing him as a one-off is probably pretty bad because Metcalf is also super, super game script dependent, right? Where in losses or in games where they are trailing, at halftime or whatever, he tends to be a fantastic play. Games where they are winning, he is, you'd rather have Danny Amendola in your lineup if they somehow get up 10 against Atlanta in this game. So I think that kind of the way I would like to use Metcalf is like, if DK Metcalf, then at least one, Matt Ryan or Russell Wilson to only keep him in game stacks.
All right. McLaurin, F1. How many, Tuttle, I noticed you have him as a value play, even though he's 5.6K on DK, but that's you value. Think that he smashes.
That's
What's
value
that?
That's value on DK.
Okay. Like you think that it's not like a 4K value play.
No, there aren't many of those this week.
Right, so it's more of a balanced.
Yeah, more of a balanced lineup. Again, you can do this with Antonio Gibson. I think the chalk build on DK is going to be McCaffrey, Gibson, and then kind of that Marquise Brown, McLaren, Devontae Adams, and then fill out from there.
All right, the legit or bit segment is this. Will someone win the $1 million with the Bears-Lions game stack? Davis.
I actually like it. I actually think that Anthony Miller, Marvin Jones, TJ Hawkinson, those guys are all really quality peripheral daily fantasy plays.
Trubisky winning someone the Millie.
Probably more likely Stafford, but I mean, Trubisky does add the running, which is actually good on FanDuel because on FanDuel there are no bonuses for the passing yardage.
Yep.
Trubisky has won people $1 million multiple times.
Twice, I think.
At least.
I would much rather have the Trubisky side of chances winning $1 million because we know if Matt Patricia gets his wish, he's just going to open the game with like 20 straight Adrian Peterson.
Oh gosh, don't remind me. All right, let's open up FanDuel. Davis, you've already got it open.
Buddy, I got it. I'm looking at it right now.
Tell them the website name. Tell everybody the website name.
FanDuel.com/
Hey, God, we say it slower. I haven't typed this into my browser in months.
Are you guys so proud of me or what? I'm just such a grinder.
This is amazing.
Yes.
This is absolutely amazing. And honestly, like, just goes to show you that Davis will talk about whatever he has something like an investment in.
Oh yeah, when I'm in on something, it's all I can think about.
It's not about the quality of his work that he like takes pride in. It's like legit, like, does he have money on the site? Yes, then he's going to talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of investment, have you been burned by the DraftKings best ball situation? Maybe head to Underdog.
Seamless user interface.
Is this a drafters ad?
Oh, buddy.
Oh.
If we're talking about interface.
Let's not. We've got our FanDuel people that we've written down. So
I haven't written it down yet.
Yeah, I did not, and I got rid of my piece of paper.
I know.
Okay, I'm gonna write it down though.
I knew we were gonna do this for both sites.
Okay.
And,
yeah, it's good. I'm glad because we said this saves us time, so we're saving so much time. Look at us.
Why won't the blitz for FanDuel load right now?
I'll go first. Josh Jacobs.
JT.
Visca.
Hey, there we go. He's the min. He's the min on FanDuel, Pete. You need to deposit.
Not the Stone Min, actually.
And they ruined it. I wanted to say Stone Min, but he's 4,600.
Who did Davis pick?
JT.
JT. You have to figure out who JT is, but I have a feeling you can because
Tuttle knows. He thinks he's worse than Quintus Cephas.
He is.
Jonathan Taylor.
Terrible. Yeah, why are we playing Jonathan Taylor?
He is in the top 30 blitz optimals.
All right. So who do you have, Tuttle? Who's your guy?
Let me go with on FanDuel.com.
Oh gosh.
FanDuel.com contest.
Hayden Hurst.
All right. Davis, I want to reward you right now. We've got Jacobs, Taylor, Laviska, and Hayden Hurst. I want to reward you, though.
For being such a FanDuel grinder?
You get the next pick.
Okay, so I actually do want to set us up a correlated team this time, so we're going to go with Matt Ryan.
Okay. All right. I'm going to stick to my brand. People see my workout picks. They know kind of what I stand for. I'm going to go with DK Metcalf.
All right, then let's just keep correlating this. Let's get Calvin Ridley with the double stack with Metcalf coming back.
All right. And then if we play like some 4,500 defense, then we've got way too much money. Even if we play the top defense, even if we play the top defense, we would be left with Christian McCaffrey. So, we got to pay for somebody.
Should I go up to Julio over Ridley?
Yeah, I'm still not sure it would matter, but actually, no, you could do that. Yeah, that'd be almost perfect. Yeah, we can make it work.
Where did Tuttle go? Did he say?
I don't know. I think he gave his terrible take. We reached the 100 subs, and he said, "I'm out. Oh. But we still have a free subscription that we'll be giving away.
He better come back in a kimono after this long of a break.
All right, tight ends.
Yes,
Davis. Now you understand playing on FanDuel and DraftKings how different it is. The tight end fitting.
Yeah, you just play the least dusty dust bucket on DraftKings, and then on FanDuel you actually get to play good players.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty nice. I like the situation FanDuel has set up where, I'm not begging Trey Quinn to get to 9 DraftKings points. I actually get to play a bunch of guys who are going to be part of their team's offense. It's quite nice.
All right. So just jam in George Kittle then on FanDuel. Is that what you're saying?
No, Ertz is the play.
Yeah, he's only 6.6. Kittle though is definitely especially it depends on the that wide receiver situation there in San Fran. But if it's just him and Kendrick Bourne, he's gonna be money. All right. Who are some cheap tight ends for you, Pete?
So on DraftKings, I do think the guy that jumps out for me is Herndon, as far as being closer to kind of a Stoneman price when his role, I think, is going to be closer to a Hayden Hurst type range. I feel like he's mispriced by about $1,000. I know we said that we have to punt on DraftKings, but one of my season-long thesis is that Mark Andrews is going to become closer to George Kittle than where he is right now. So getting, say, a $1,200 discount on Mark Andrews relative to Kittle is also something I'm interested in.
Tuttle, we're talking about tight ends. We just built an amazing lineup on FanDuel. We're talking about tight ends, cheap tight ends. Logan Thomas on DK is 2.8K.
He's got to be in your player pool, I think.
Davis, tell us the min-max exposure to Logan Thomas.
Well, you don't want to force minimum exposure because that'll just make you have terrible lineups.
That's not true.
I bet Kitchen goes in as just like, I want at least 25% of Calvin Ridley. Like he does it like a wife, like online shopping. And he's like, I need
one
13,
of these.
Yeah, I need 13% Willie Snead.
A little there eating.
Yeah, like I'm watching Kitchen do that in my head right now, just like
a little bit of Tanyan in my life.
Hey, okay, let's this is a good one right now. Do we think David Kitchen set his Scott Fishbowl waivers? What's the line, Pete? Do we think he did it?
No, because he said in the chat that he missed it, but I can't even make fun because so did I.
Oh, joke's on you because I forgot that I had randomly put in a $50 bid on Mr. D. Williams.
Did you win him?
I did. Some other guy got him for $3 in the same like cohort that we're in.
I saw someone go 100 on him.
Now, I love how Davis hates to talk about best ball, but Scott Fishbowl waiver wire completely okay out in the show, especially when we're up against time limits. All right. Robert Tonyan, yes or no, Tuttle? Boots on the ground. Tight end 1.
I mean, fine.
Receptions of longer than 20 yards downfield.
He's just not going to get a lot of targets, but he could score a touchdown.
What about 2 touchdowns? Then he breaks the slate. Slate breaker. Slate breaker Robert Tonyan.
Not going to get 2 touchdowns.
All right. You heard it here first. Mr. Tuttle 05. Peter, other tight ends that you like this year? Or I mean this week?
This week, Hawkinson, I have a soft spot for that guy. Another guy I'm chasing his breakout. Let's see if we can get him before he's more expensive. And, if Mitch Trubisky's winning the Millie Maker, bring it back with Hawkinson.
I thought you were about to tout Jimmy Graham and someone was going to top Le'Veon Bell as a bad tout, and I'm disappointed that we didn't get to go that direction.
I would tout Cole Kmet before I touted Jimmy Graham.
Jack Doyle. Any interest there?
I actually expect him to be the most popular cash game tight end on DraftKings.
No way.
Oh, really?
You think Herndon for sure over him?
Yeah. Every projection system likes Herndon over him.
I think I have Doyle for more points actually. I mean, not by like a lot.
Looking at the blitz, it's got more points per dollar for Doyle over Herndon.
Cardi loves Doyle.
Well, I mean, obviously, no Burton in that lineup. You got old man Rivers. Doyle is a natural cash game donkey play. Just go for it. All right. Anything else before we move on? Hey, any hot take defenses, Davis, you have for us? We didn't really cover defenses a lot last year.
Well, the Colts are the best one, and they're actually like relatively affordable on both sites. But I think a lot of people are just going to play the Jets on DraftKings because they're very cheap, and the Raiders on FanDuel because they're very cheap, and you can just kind of talk yourself into some plausible upside.
Panthers also very cheap on FanDuel as well.
Sure.
If you don't believe in that Raiders offense. All right.
Well, Colts defense is going to be stone chalk on FanDuel.
Correct usage of stone chalk.
Yes, they will. The worst is when you fade the stone chalk defense and then it goes off and then you just tilt for the rest of the
You're like, great, I lost. I lost because the Steelers defense got 33 DraftKings points. Great. Glad to be out here today.
I cannot wait till we get to tilt on Sunday after just a half of tilting. That's all I want. That's what I've been looking for since quarantine life.
Yeah. We swapping, bro?
We dead? Our lineup's dead? All right. Final thoughts, closing thoughts. Davis, closing thoughts for you.
I just as a noted FanDuel grinder, I'm very excited to be, chasing after both sites. And just really, really hoping. I would love for some really good Saturday night Adam Schefter and Ian Rappaport reporting on running back workloads, because so help me God, if I play Le'Veon Bell with real American dollars, I'm never going to forgive myself.
Don't do it.
Davis coming to the show week 1 with the Le'Veon Bell standage, and then also just FanDuel being his number 1 is
not my number 1, but I'm growing.
Well, that's the one you listed first, like legit, like it's the first site you listed. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've been telling you, like it's good to play it. Why focus on one when you can focus on all of them? Unless you sponsor the show, which, by the way, if you want to sponsor the show, we're here for it. All right, Tuttle, you already gave your terrible take. You have any other?
Doesn't Fantasy Up sponsor the show?
Yeah,
Dan Wahoo.
Terrible take. Ryan Edwards, stack away that Seattle-Atlanta game and make that money.
All right, Peter.
I just want to say we've been through a lot this offseason, guys, from League of Legends to Korean baseball, trips to Disney World, fake photos. We've laughed, we've cried, we reached 100 subs, and now week 1 is upon us, and it's time to play the best plays. But also remember, we all have a little bit of a galaxy brain in ourselves.
Yeah.
Go out there and get them this week, guys.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone that tuned in. From now on, you can go to youtube.com/SWOLECAST and get to our feed as soon as we set that up. But I do want to just thank everyone for being with us. We're here. Just continue to like the individual accounts that we have on all the social and the media platforms. And if you've had a tough day, just sit back on RG. Make a bunch of lineups with the Lineup HQ optimizer and cool yourself off. Cool yourself off with a nice brownie blizzard from Dairy Queen. I'm David for Dan, Peter, and Davis. We'll see you next week, week 2, here of the SWOLECAST on rotogrinders.com.